So today I'm going to be talking about government subsidisation for domestic manufacturing industries in Australia. Before I reveal which side I'm actually going to take, I'm going to explain what a subsidy is. It is basically an allotment of money from the government to an industry, in this case domestic manufacturing, to keep the price of the goods or services in that industry low, thus making it more sustainable. Moving on to manufacturing, it peaked in Australia in the 1960s, where it was 25% of the GDP. Ever since, it has plummeted to 8%. This is largely due to companies now resorting to low-cost economies such as China to produce. The large-scale manufacturing that is operated throughout China makes it easier and cheaper to achieve economies of scale. Australia has been unable to compete in that aspect, but in terms of quality, we are able to compete. This point will be talked about more momentarily. Bonds, Heinz, Aerogard, and Dettol are just some companies that closed domestic factories and slashed local workforce, and instead opted to outsource its manufacturing to China. Despite the decline in manufacturing, it is still an important sector of the economy. It still does make up 8% of the GDP and 29% of exports. Manufacturing is a struggling sector, and prices will just elevate at an exponential rate. Once this occurs, more companies will resort to offshore manufacturing. This will virtually kill off the industry. This means that technological innovation will be difficult, and as a famous economist Joseph Schumpeter once promoted, innovation is the key to technological growth. I believe a subsidy will support more homegrown and Aussie-made products and revive a struggling industry. An example of an alternative business strategy that is actually managing, though, is one operated by Jimmy Possum, a furniture manufacturer. He recognizes the fact that the industry is struggling and acknowledges that by stating he doesn't intend to compete with mass-market furniture, nor does he intend to compete with prices. If price is the only factor that is actually looked into by businesses, then it's futile, as there is always going to be a cheaper price. That's the way the economy works. Quality is also a major factor that must be considered. Domestic manufacturers focus on this, and a subsidy would help lower the prices, maintain the quality, and also still encourage technological innovation. It wouldn't make the industry booming again, more drastic measures are required, but it would enable it to be sustainable. Jimmy Possum now owns 9 stores throughout Australia and has 70 apprentices in professions from carpentry to upholstery. The reason I'm talking about this is to show that manufacturing isn't totally dead. A lot of businesses are still profitable from domestic manufacturing, but it is not booming as it once was. The most promising areas should be subsidised, though. I believe the government should subsidise domestic manufacturing, but focus it on the food and beverage manufacturing industry. It has attained $71 billion in turnover, the largest out of all the manufacturing sectors. The most successful areas of it are meat, beverage and malt products, dairy products, and sugar products. This is where the subsidy should be focused. It will improve efficiency and spark innovation, thus leading to increased profits and helping domestic manufacturing become more sustainable.